Hello and welcome, friend. In this lecture, we will try to look at some of the Linux and Unix file system permissions. So there are two basic commands for changing the ownership and permissions, and we will try to look one of them, which is chmod change mode. So change mode basically alters the permissions of a file. There is a change owner which we will cover in subsequent videos. Change mode, as we know, is for changing the file permissions. Typically, when you create any file, and if you look the file permissions with the help of command like ls-la or ls-l, which is a long listing in ls, and you will see the permissions like this. What this means is that this bit is read, this bit is write, and this bit is execute. So that's what I have mentioned here. R is for read, W is for write, which is a modification permission is granted, a user or a group or other. If they have the W permissions, which means that they have the permissions to modify the contents of a file or they can delete the file. X means execute permissions, which means that they can run that binary or a program or a script file. So they have sufficient privilege to run. Now, if we look more closely here, I have separated by a space. Typically, this is not separated by space, but I just separated by space for clarification. So if you look here, first three bits. So this is first bit, second bit, third bit. So these first three bits are for permissions for user. And mind it, this permissions denotes it's a file. If there is a D here, which means it's a directory. So we will not cover this. This just signifies whether this is a file or a directory. So when we say first bit, we really means from here, not from here. So first third three bits are for users, then the subsequent three bits are for the group. So this three bit, if you see here, group has only read access, they don't have write or execute access. And the last one is for others. Other means anyone apart from user and group. So there is a concept called user and group. User is a user, as we all know, a user present in the system, and there are set of groups. A group means a set of people with some responsibility, like administrator can be one group, printer pool or a printer admin can be another group, things like that. So typically whenever we create a user, we create a corresponding group also. So if I create a user John, I will create a group called John. So anyone who belongs to group John, so there might be a user called Mike, he might also belongs to the group John, and John is also a user, John is a group, and Mike is a different user but he belongs to the user group. So whatever permission is there in group John, Mike will also have those permissions as part of the group. So if you belong to a group, whatever permissions belong to that group, you will by default get that permissions. So that's what group means. And other means this field last three bit is for other, which means that you don't belong to the user, you don't belong to the group, so you are none of them. So that permission denotes whatever permissions you have. Now if we look here more closely, it is like this. So first three bits are for user, and within that first bit is read, then the next subsequent bit is write, and then third bit is execute. Then here fourth bit is again write for the group, fifth bit is read for the group, fourth bit is read for the group, fifth bit is write for the group, and sixth is again execute for the group, and then seventh is for read for the others, eight is for write for the others, and ninth is the execute bit for the others. If we look at the numerical value, the value of R here, whatever the R we have seen here, the numerical value of R is 4. So let me go back, and the numerical value of W is 2, and the numerical value of execute bit is 1. So if you sum up 4 plus 2 plus 1 is equals to 7. So any user or group or others, they can have a max permission of 7. That's the numerical donations. Now if you look here, we have full permission in this particular case. I am just giving you an hypothetical case. So it's read, write, execute. And so this is 4 plus 2, 6 plus 1, 7. So this is 7. And again this read, write, execute. So this is 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is 7. 4 plus 2 plus 1, 7, 7, 7, 7. Here I am demonstrating the same thing again, just a little bit more clarity. So in this particular file, it has only write permissions. I am sorry, it has only read permissions. So R is for read, and then two blanks means no permission. So the equivalent is 0. So read, as we know, has a value of 4. If we can look in our previous slide, read has a value of 4. So this is 400, 400, 400. So which means the effective permissions, if we want to modify by a numerical system, it would be 444. Now if I give read but no write permissions and execute, so which is 4, and there is no write, so it is 0, and then execute bit is 1. Again execute bit is value is 1. Then again this is only read 400. If we look the permissions here, so this has on one bit as 4 and the last bit as 1 for user, so this becomes 5. So you can add this 5, and then 400 is 4 and 40, so the effective permissions would be 544. Here it is 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is 7, and then no permissions for users or group others, sorry, no permissions for group and others, this is 00. So let's try to look at some of the examples with respect to the users and permissions. So we will create a file, default file, and we will try to run through some of our examples. So let me touch a file. Touch is one command which you can create a empty file, a blank file. So I will say file1.txt, or I could have given any name. Now if I look with ls-l, this file, the default permissions is RWRRR. So RW is R is 4, write is 2, and execute bit is not set for user. So this is user. Then for group only read permissions is there. So which is 400, and then again for others it's 400. So if we sum up, the effective permissions would be this 4 plus 2 is 6, and then this is 6, and this is 4, this is 4, so 644 would be the effective permissions. So if I want to change the permissions by numerical systems, I could say 644, which is ineffective. I am doing the same thing, same permissions, no change, but just I want to demonstrate. Now let's suppose if I change the permissions to something else like 777, I give all the permissions to all the users, group and others. And now if I look with ls-l, you see RWX, everything is populated, which means it has got all the permissions. Now if I want to go back to the previous permissions, so we know previously the permissions were 644. So if I just say 644, it will take me back to the previous permissions. So I can now again see 644 is this. So 777 means all permissions to users, group and others. Now 777 looks good many times that if you want in a hurry and you want to give some execute permissions, you don't want to calculate, you just end up giving 777. But that might be a security hole, that might be causing security problems. So make sure you know when you give more permissions than needed. So make sure you know what you are doing. Now this numerical way of assigning and giving the permissions is very good, but at the same time there are other commands which you would like to quickly see. So now you see here others doesn't have permissions except for read. So let's suppose for others, which is denoted by O, I want to give a write and execute permission. So I will say O wx file1.txt. Now if I look for the file1 now, I will see that for others, write and execute permission is granted. Earlier it was only read permissions were there, but write and execute was not there. But now with this command, other plus write and execute, I can give. I can, in the similar way, I can take away the permissions with the minus denotations. Minus means you just take away the write permissions, which is modifications and permissions, and execute permissions. Now if I look at the file here again it has been taken off. So this is with others. Same thing we can do with user, same thing we can do with group. So let's try to do with group. So group, we have removed the permissions of write and execute. If I look the file at now, file 1, this has been, so this we have removed. So user group, so group, there were no permissions earlier, there were only read permissions which we can read, and we have removed the permissions with respect to write and execute, which was not there. So something which is not there and you remove it doesn't make sense, it doesn't matter, it will remain the same. Let's suppose there is a permissions here, so we will add the permissions first and then we will remove. Let's suppose for group we will add the permissions write and execute. Now if I look here, so for group it is write and execute permissions are both granted, and if I want to remove it, I can say minus, and if I look here, so I will see that the permission is gone. These permissions were there which I have granted and then it is gone. So this is just when you add it or subtract it. Now if you want to have effective permissions, you don't care what permissions was there earlier, I just want to give read and execute permissions. So you can say group equals to read and execute, and what it will do is it will just set up the group permissions as read and execute. So see, read and execute, write permissions are not there. If I give g equals to wrx, so it will set the write permissions. So this is the way you can set users permissions and for group and others. So there are a couple of other things with respect to sticky bit and set UID and UMask, which I will cover in the subsequent video. So thank you all for watching this video and you have a nice day.